underwater, under fucking water, you do not have the leg strength to kick a fucking windshield out of goddamn car, especially underwater. Oh my goodness. Bullshit. Hey, y'all can see me. Look at this bitch. Look at how she's swimming, dude. Look at this. What the fuck? Look at that. Watch this. Just watch this. How the fuck do you do that? You do not do that. If your ass is under fucking water and you doing that shit, you gonna fucking drown. That is not how fucking swimming works. I'm sorry, but not sorry. That is some bullshit. Fuck this movie. Fuck it. Y'all saw that. I had to put this at the beginning of the video because that's some straight up bullshit right there. That is not how swimming works. No. Alright people, what the hell is going on? It is early morning at this point. I watched the movie last night and I just got to watch like the last 10 minutes of it this morning. As you can tell, I just got up. You can probably hear it in my damn voice. I got up. Actually, I didn't get that much sleep, but watched the last part of this movie, I Care a Lot. Now, I started watching this damn movie just trying to just to justify me having a Netflix account because you watch. It's like I watch everything but Netflix. Everything but Netflix. I said, you know, I need to go on goddamn Netflix and watch something. So the last few days or whatever the hell, I've watched quite a bit of stuff on Netflix. This being one of them, kind of a random choice. I didn't really pick it. I was gonna search through something and this popped up. I remember seeing the trailer a while back. I don't know how far a while back, but I do remember seeing the trailer a while back. And I was like, well, I remember seeing the trailer for this. Yeah. So I just happened to see it, and I watched it. I'm watching this movie, man, and fuck this movie. This is a whole fuck this movie. And y'all know, if you just happen to be trying to figure out if you should watch this movie or not, it's like, yeah, you probably should. It's one of those movies you should watch just for the sake that it might stir up some conversation between you and somebody else. I think this is one of the movies where you kind of want somebody else you know to watch it so y'all can kind of talk about it. Because you might have, I know me, I ain't got a whole bunch of people that I can be like, hey man, you need to watch this movie. I want to know what you think about it. Ain't nobody got time to be sick and watching a 2-hour ass movie that's kind of poopy. At least in my opinion, it's like, But to watch a movie about total villainy, total villainy, there's no protagonist in this movie. It's not. There's no protagonist in this movie. It's bad guy versus bad guy. That's it. So I mean, if you want if you try to avoid spoilers or anything, whatever. This ain't the video for me. I can't remember everything that goes through movies like that. I ain't finna sit here and take notes and all that shit. I just talk about the movie best of my ability. That's why I'm doing it right now, because the fucking screen is still up. But this movie, I could see where this movie would just piss somebody the fuck off, start to finish. I'm just gonna say all the shit that this movie pissed me off from start to finish. There's very few bright spots in it. In my opinion, it's my movie. I got a whole different taste of of just media in general. This movie just pissed me off from start to finish. And while I can't sit here and tell you about Act 1, Act 2, I don't know what acts start when, where, and what. You know what I'm saying? I don't pay attention that deep to movies. It ain't like I went to fucking film school, huh? You know what I'm saying? Got a little cinematography going on here, whatever the fuck. No, filmography. No, that's something else. Anyway, so, but I do recognize typical shit. You know what I'm saying? I recognize typical shit, and I get pissed off when I see typical shit. When it's typical shit that I recognize, that means they couldn't think of nothing else. You know what I'm saying? If a layman person like me that watch movies can come along and pick out certain shit inside the movie that probably shouldn't be there, like it is, it probably shouldn't be there at all. You probably should have did a whole lot better job. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be able to go through this movie and just be like, yeah, I didn't notice anything. I just went through the movie just fine. No. This movie, this bitch, I don't even remember her name. I just watched this movie and I just heard her name said in this last fucking thing right here, this last little scene that I watched. And I can't remember this bitch's name. You know what? I don't care. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about this bitch. This movie, on the surface, seems like it comes out from some woman who's had trouble with men all her life, so she stopped fucking with men, started eating pussy, and wanted to make a movie about this shit. That's what the fuck this movie seems. On the surface, that's what it seems. I don't know who Jake Blake, whatever the fuck name was, the director was. Jay something. It's got just the initial J in the last name. And Netflix, there ain't no pictures of it. So I don't know if a man or a woman, whoever, the same person who wrote this movie directed it. So it is straight out of somebody's head. I don't know who whoever is, but I'm pretty sure that it's probably Jennifer or Joanne or some shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a female had to come up with this movie. You know what I'm saying? A female had to come up with this movie. Because it's all there. Somebody was hurt like a motherfucker. Somebody is on some serious lesbian, feminist bullshit to where she go through this whole goddamn movie not giving a fuck about shit. I ain't gonna let a man do this. I ain't gonna let a man do that. Ain't nobody gonna get over on me. I never lose. The whole movie. Even when it don't make sense to do so. Even when it don't make sense to do so. And for the most part, this broad got this fucking evil ass scheme which almost made me stop watching the movie from the start. She get these old people and get some kind of affidavit signed. They got a whole fucking scheme where they get these old people that can't take care of themselves to where they become the legal guardian, and they put them in an old folks home or care facility, and then they basically just rob them, take over all their assets and auction that shit off. They had a whole montage of that's what they did to the lady. They just took all her shit, all of it. Now, that, you know, and that, just looking at the movie, just like, and I'm kind of feeling it right here. I know it's just a fucking movie, but that idea came from somewhere. Anytime you see some shit in a movie, you know, if it's in a movie, that means somebody somewhere is doing it. You know what I'm saying? There's somebody out there right now got this guardianship thing going on to where they, you know, they might not just be just outright just liquidating people's property. I'm just like, how the fuck can you get away with that? I'm sitting there, it's like a scheme that's so evil. It's just like, how the fuck would you get away with that? How the fuck would you get away with that? You know what I'm saying? You get these people, you know, you cherry pick these old people who ain't got no family left or no shit like that, and you just auction off, you know, you get them in a facility, and you just auction off all of their goddamn assets. Property, house, whatever the fuck. You sell their drawers. I was like, that is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? That is fucked up. Really, it really the fuck is. You know, I'm pretty sure I'll, you know, it's probably somebody out there that's doing this shit. You know? But anyway, you know, it's like you got this crime, and you know, you got the monologue that she has coming into the movie and all kind of shit. So you kind of get her bitchiness right off from the front. Her and her little sidekick, they gazing at each other throughout the beginning of the movie. You be like, oh shit, some gay shit, which I am so sick of. You know, it wasn't until just now when I looked at I was trying to see who wrote and directed the movie, the cast, and all this other shit. And what the hold up. Yeah, you get down towards the bottom, and it said, where they list the genre of the movies. You know, the genre. They didn't list all the little genres that this movie was so up in. And I seen I seen the alphabets down there twice. It's a LGBTQ. It's fucking stupid. That whole thing is just fucking stupid. It's a gay movie. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all of it. It's gay. It's a gay movie. It's really not a gay movie. The characters, the main characters just happen to be a lesbian with her and her little lesbian friend. You know, it's not a gay movie. It's whatever. This movie would not have been any different if there was any other female, a straight hetero female playing that part. You know what I'm saying? Her sexuality had nothing to do with this movie. Now, for feminist type of shit, that's a little bit different. That's a little bit different. That shit is just out there. Not as far as pushing some agenda out there, but for her personally, you could tell that this comes from some kind of feminist type of person, somebody that's in that atmosphere. You know, it's coming from somebody that the vibe of this shit throughout the whole movie is undeniable, and it makes the movie, along with the other bunch of stuff in it, just unfucking believably unpleasant to watch. You know what I'm saying? I actually did stop watching this movie. I stopped watching the movie, and early on, right when her and her friends started kissing, well, they didn't. They started hugging and shit. They get into the house and they started hugging. I was just like, another smoke movie with some gay shit in it. Bloop. Because I had already got the bitchy part. You know what I'm saying? I got the bitch part. Now I got to deal with this shit too. I'm just like, I'm so sick of people sexuality being thrown into the movie. I don't even like when hetero people are just making out on the screen for no goddamn reason. I don't. I find that shit just repulsive. And I'm not a prude. I'm about as pervy as it gets. But if I'm not for to see a motherfucker go all the goddamn way, which I don't, well, if it's two men, I don't. If it was two women, yeah. If you gonna show me all of it, okay. But you not. So I don't need none of it. As far as men, I don't want to see none of it. I tried to watch Dahmer, and I was like, nope. And that went in the point that kind of fucked me up. It was I stopped watching Dahmer because it's like, okay, I know how this shit ends. That dude gonna die. And I ain't talking about the people in the movie that got ate. I'm like, that dude, that weird ass white motherfucker, he gonna die. So it's whatever. I don't need to watch this movie. I know how the fuck it ends. Him and his fucking dad going around picking up roadkill and dissecting it. And no wonder that motherfucker turned out fucking unnormal. God damn. If that's what the fuck went on, yeah, okay. Shit. But with this movie, man, it's like, I made like 3 episodes of Dahmer. That was it. I can watch that shit. I'll be wanting to be entertained. That shit is not even entertaining. That shit is fucking horrible. It's kind of funny in a way, but it's horrible. The funny shit comes from the actual making of the film, not the actual events in the film. It's just like this shit right here. This movie is hard to fucking watch because of what's in the film and what I think is behind the film. I don't know what kind of agenda they was kind of pushing this because it's kind of iffy. You get through this movie and it's like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? You thinking about it. Like I said, it's 2 villains in this movie. There are no protagonists. There's no protagonist at all. And then, they show this one dude. They show the fucking crazy ass dude, and they painted him as a fucking psycho. Some kind of dude that was trying to get in to see his mom or whatever the fuck. And they wouldn't let him into the fucking the care facility to see his mom, which is a red fucking flag already. Like, how do you get away with this shit? It's a red fucking flag if it's a facility that they can't nobody get into. If they got kin folks in there, they cannot get into it. They will not let you in. Like I said, the shit was so over the top. I'm like, they didn't think this through. You wouldn't be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? You just would not be able to do that. You wouldn't be able to do that for an extended period of time to where you done made a whole goddamn career out of this shit. To locking old people up in a care facility that's presented as a care facility that people will be able to go in and out of to see their people. And they can't. So they showed the one dude trying to get in there with it to see his mom. He went in there, he all crazy. He fight with the guards. They show him. That's literally how they show this dude. That's literally how they show this dude. That's when they was laying it out exactly what this woman was doing. And then the next time they show him, he in court with the other little main character lady. And he telling them, they won't let me go in and see my mom and blah, blah, blah. My mom don't need to be in there and all this shit. And she got this whole little calm speech that she giving because her and the judge got this fucking thing going. And blah, blah, blah. And they never implemented, they never indicated the judge as being involved in this whole scheme, just being dumb enough to repeatedly keep falling for it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't ever seen a judge so fucking stupid in my life. I haven't seen many judges on TV. You know what I'm saying? Even the comedy judges that you see on TV that do dumb shit just for the fuck of it. You know what I'm saying? This shit is played straight as fuck. The judge just like, oh, this is what's happening. Oh, goddamn. All right. He helped go to get the affidavit and stamp the goddamn shit and have the people drug the fuck off. So she did. That's when she kind of, you get a hold of what the fuck she's doing. I'm like, so they get this. I don't know the whole thing, but somebody give him a lead on this woman that don't have no family, supposedly has some dementia or whatever the fuck. Signs of dementia. Maybe dementia. Not she has it, but she might be getting it or show signs of it or some shit. And they go to this fucking woman's house, man. You know, they make room for her. You know, somebody in the home had died, so she got a slot open. So they go get this woman. They go and they don't really convince her to go. They kind of coerce her into going. Man. They had the police outside and all the old lady just looking like, oh my goodness, what the hell, blah, blah, blah. Which is kind of stupid. You know what I'm saying? Take it for who this old lady was or who she turns out to be. Would fall for this shit to start with. You know what I'm saying? From who this woman is, she wouldn't have fell for this shit. You gotta think about it. You know, spoilers be damned. She's part of the fucking mafia, more or less. She's part of the mafia, more or less, the Russian mafia or whatever the fuck. She's not old and senile and none of this other shit. She part of some shit that's been going on for decades. You know what I'm saying? And you can't have her spot. You know what I'm saying? You can't have her spot without her being bright enough to maintain that. She's an old lady, yeah, but she wasn't out of her fucking mind. For her just to be able to fall for that shit, I don't. You know, it's just an evil scheme that's like, okay, I don't see how the fuck you would get away with that. And to some degree, I can see where you could, but when it's contested, how the fuck do you get away with that shit? Because there's plenty of old people out here that don't see people or they children. I used to work in a old folks home, so yeah, there's plenty of folks in there that don't see their kids and other shit. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it ain't one of those state things where the state is taking care of you. It's, you know, they kids that want to put them the fuck in there. But still, I understand it. I've seen it to a certain point that a lot of those people out there, and they're out of it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those people in there are out of it. But this woman in there, it's nope, she ain't out of it. And I don't see how she just was able to just go for that shit. I mean, the way they had the whole thing up is set up. You know, people couldn't get in there to see you. They take your cell phone when you get in there. You know what I'm saying? They take your cell phone when you get in there, and they wouldn't give her a cell phone back, so she couldn't call nobody. So, you know. But initially, from the start, that she even packed a bag and went with them, I'm like, I was like that. For who that woman was, it's like, yeah, you'd have to drag me up out this fucking house. Without a bag. I'm not packing a fucking bag. I'm not going with you. You know what I'm saying? That's what's supposed to happen. But you already know if you do what the fuck you supposed to do in movies, you don't have a fucking movie. So people can't do what fucking makes sense. But this whole movie is just full of don't make sense. So they grabbed this broad, put her in a state care facility, and they got her in there. And they unknowingly interrupted a routine that she had. She had a routine to where she would see her son once a month or however long the routine was. And was that one of her kids? And you know what? I don't think that was one of her kids, but her son sent for her ride. So, you know, mother-son visit day or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? You know, under the circumstances, you get to understand how it is. And it's like, okay. The dude went to the house. He looking, he like. So he get up and go to the house. He see they done already ran through this woman's house. They in there repainting the walls and ain't no furniture in the house and nothing. They got a for sale sign in the fucking property. I don't know how long that woman been up in that goddamn place. In the movie, it seemed like she done been in there like 2 days. You know what I'm saying? They got Skip Bass, good. They did have a little montage. You know what I'm saying? Them going through the house. So yeah, I guess time did go by, but still, you know, they find out. Okay, that after the guy that went to go pick the mom up went back to the guy who is Peter fucking Dinklage, the little mafia guy. Peter goddamn Dinklage. Ain't nothing wrong with Peter Dinklage. But his role in the movie, I hope he understands, or I hope he saw the role that he played in this movie up until a certain point. Up until a certain point, I hope he understands the role that he played in this movie. It might not be on the surface, but I'll explain it in a bit. This is what I saw. My shallow ass saw this. And so, what he does, he sends his lawyer guy, because he's a mafia guy who has faked his death. You know what I'm saying? He faked his death. Like I said, spoilers be damned. This movie ain't worth it. So he just can't go out and about and operate as who he is. Who he was died, as far as the rest of the world is concerned. So he sends his lawyer guy, after he done got all the information he needs. He sends his lawyer guy to talk to this bitch at her office. You know, and she all bitch and do. I say, he get up there. Of course, he don't have an appointment, and he want to talk to this lady and blah blah blah. You know how that old conversation go. So he finally get to talk to the lady. He said, I only need about 5 minutes of your time. And she over there, you got 2. And of course, he's a stereotypical slimy lawyer character type. You know what I'm saying? So he comes in with the 411 to try to get the lady. I can't remember her goddamn name either. The mobster mom. Get her released. And without indicating any names and no shit like that, you know, her being the bitch she is, she ain't going for none of this shit. She like, I'm not letting her out. Blah, 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 blah. Even when this motherfucker, this dude laid it out to her. You know what I'm saying? He came in the office, he played nice to get the old lady out. So he had to escalate. He sat there and laid out her whole fucking damn, what the word for that shit is? Her whole program, the whole deal, what she does. He laid it out to her in her face. This dude just showed up in your office and told you everything that you doing. It didn't take him long to figure that shit out. You grabbing these old folks, you getting them, blah, blah, blah. He was like, that's a nice hustle. You know, I ain't got blind. But this one right here, you got to let it go. You got to pick the wrong one. You know what I'm saying? He could tell her who he was, and only thing he can go by the name that she goes by. He can't say, yeah, you need to just let this one go. Even when he was like, you know, he was like, without threatening people, you kind of let people know that I'm just the tip of the spear. I'm here to kind of get this, to stop this shit before it goes any fucking further. You know what I'm saying? Without being so blunt about it. And she wasn't going for that shit either. I'm sitting here like, bitch, this man just out the blue just came in here and told you to your face your whole fucking operation about what you doing with these old folks and their assets and shit like that after you get them put into the facility that they never gonna fucking get out of. Don't you think? It's like, out in my head, it's like, if you end up at the police station or the police come to your door and say they need to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? You end up in a fucking interrogation room, you know, at a police office or some shit like that. Motherfucker, if they asking you questions, they already know the goddamn answers. They already know. They just seeing what you gonna fucking say. He sent the lawyer to this woman's office. And he laid out everything to her. And she's so bitch ass stupid into herself that she ain't finna let nobody get over on her, that she wouldn't have none of it. So dude was like, okay, that shit didn't work. You know, I tried to let her know that, you know, shit could get ugly if you don't let her out. And she was, is that a threat? She one of those, I don't like that, you don't threaten me, blah. She had that going on with the other dude earlier in the movie. And after they left court, you know, they had a whole little spat outside where he was cussing her out and shit outside the courthouse. And he walked up to her and spit in her face, and she kind of took that shit like a G, but she threatened that dude. Like, if you ever do that again, blah, whatever, get the fuck out of here. You know? So I'm like, okay. He was like, okay, that shit didn't work. Boom. He came in there with a suitcase. 150 grand. Right here. $150,000 cash. Let the woman out. Let the woman out. You know what I'm saying? But what happened was, I think this happened afterwards, where she went through all the woman assets and bank accounts and safety deposit boxes, and she found some diamonds. I think that happened after this little lawyer shit. But she was like, she get up and, you know how people, they playing their hand. Well, shit, if you got $150,000 cash like that, I'm thinking that shit worth a whole lot more than that. So it was like, okay. He was like, 250. She and she was like 5. It was like 100,000. She was like 500,000. No, she was like 5 million. Dude was like, I can go to 300,000. And she said 10 million. I was like, oh my goodness. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this movie, man? What the fuck is this movie? At some point, what people do have to make some kind of goddamn sense. I understand everything can't make sense because you won't have a fucking movie. The movie would have been over right then. Coming from somebody who was already, you know, reasonably wealthy at that point. But goddamn. That should tell you right now that you might have picked up on the wrong motherfucker. That's bringing all kind of the wrong attention with somebody that came to your office, told you that if you don't let this woman go, in so many words, if you don't let this woman go, you gonna end up dead. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, basically that's what he fucking said without actually saying it, because you don't want to go into people, you don't want to, but he was kind of trying to inch towards it. Like, we trying to settle this shit, but if you don't do this, you know what I'm saying? Now, you know, in my head, I'm better like, look, I'm just here to do this right here. If it goes past me, like if what I do here don't work, and it goes to the next level, you are not going to be a happy person at all. That's how I would have said it. He didn't say that. He did say that, you know, he's just a lawyer guy. He knows other people on top of him. But I would have been like, look, this is the start. I'm here to stop this shit now. If it goes beyond me to when, you know, when they start sending people to you after what I didn't work, I'm like, hey, I tried. She didn't go for it though. She didn't go for that shit. He had an offer. She just shit all over it. You know what I'm saying? You gonna offer that, man? You get the fuck out of here. I want 15, 20 times what you just offered me. She must be worth more than that. But anyway, she ended up going through this woman shit and finding some loose diamonds. And those loose diamonds were like just loose. I mean, it wasn't no way. They were just didn't belong to anybody as far as anybody was concerned. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of millions of dollars. It's just like a little handful of loose diamonds, but it's just typically, I mean, I guess that little bit is millions of dollars worth. I don't know. So it's millions of dollars worth of diamonds, which is look like about 15 diamonds or some shit. I don't know. So she found that, and after she found that, it's like it was on and popping. After that, she wasn't letting go of nothing, not a fucking thing. She wasn't. So I'm steady watching this movie. I'm like, all this shit is fucking stupid. And Peter Dinklage is, you know, y'all know who Peter Dinklage is. I don't want to. He's a midget. He's a little dude. He's a midget. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? His credits are undeniable. So he's just not like some random ass midget dude that you see in the fucking movie. That's like, blah. He's a midget, but he's legit. You know, when it comes to acting, he's fucking legit. Even watching this movie where he kind of looked kind of funny because he had a little beard and some little weird hair to the side thing going. Yeah. But oh man, this movie. What happened after that? What the fuck happened after that? I know they sent some people up there. The initial guy that went to go pick her up, one of his little croonies, you know what I'm saying? Goons. They say he sent him. Now that dude, he sent that dude to go pick her up, and he came back. He was like, man, he goes, blah blah blah. You know, she wasn't there. They was painting the house, and the house was for sale, and all kind of other shit. And the dude was sitting there like, that don't make no fucking sense. What the fuck? And he asked him, you know, where did they take her? And he was like, I don't know. And he just went off like, you didn't think to ask? And if it's just like, then he like it's a dude that worked for him. He gonna pull out a gun on him and shit, like he gonna fucking shoot the dude, which was kind of believable at the time because the dude that went to go pick her up comes off as a fucking moron. You know what I'm saying? He does. He comes off as a fucking moron. You can't always go by, you know, certain shit, but he was like kind of stuttery. He looked like a fucking criminal, but he looked shady. But it's just like, so he told him to go find out this and that and other. Yeah, some shit turned around. It's like a couple scenes later, this man come back with all kind of information and on the woman. He got pictures and all. I'm like, that dude went and got that? I'm like, you know, it's just with characterization. You just like, that dude don't look like he's capable of going and retrieving the information that he fucking came back with. It just, it don't fit. You know what I'm saying? It just it don't fit. This man come back with a whole FBI dossier on this woman. Where the fuck did he get this information? That dude don't come across as somebody who can come, that can do that. And if he could, why is he just a little goon that you could just pull a fucking gun on like you just gonna blow him away or some shit like that? What the fuck? So they end up sending him and two other dudes to get in the goddamn security guard, the security guard. Get into the fucking home to get the mom out. They go in there, dressed all weird and shit, like super white ass people. I'm not being racist and nothing like. But he went in there because I mean, typically the guys that went in there were white, but they were like dressed because it's usually like him. He not the regular goon, so he ain't really just dressed like everybody else. But everybody else is like black suit, fucking. This is like a typical mafia thing. You know what I'm saying? You got the head mafia guy, and then you got all these little henchmen around him. They all got on fucking black suits like fucking Secret Service and shit. But when they went in to go get the dude, they was dressed like family members. They were dressed extra white. This motherfucker, they had the little shorts on with the little polo shirt with the fucking sweater tied around the neck. One dude had a fanny pack. It was it was all bright ass colors, man. I'm like, shit, son, what the fuck is you wearing? I wouldn't let you in just for wearing that shit. Like, nah, bro, go put on some regular ass clothes and I'll let you go see your mom. I'm not let you come in here and blind your mom with that fucking yellow on. Get the fuck out of here. It was funny as hell. It's funny. Now, when I saw it, I was like, what the fuck is he? You know? That's like obvious disguise because, like I said, that dude, he looks shady as fuck. And even wearing that corny ass white ass shit that he had on, don't change none of this shit right here. He looked like a motherfucker that comes straight out of prison with some white ass clothes on. He don't match his wardrobe. That's a goddamn red flag right there. It would be like if I would have went in there with this face wearing that fucking outfit. Motherfucker look at me and like, what the fuck you want? What do you want? It's obvious you in here to do some shit that you ain't supposed to be doing. Or we don't want you doing. Get out of here. Get. So, but whatever, they end up getting in, and the goddamn security guard was like, not the security guard, the guy that run the facility was out there telling them that, all right, she's not available. If you want to talk to her, you have to go to talk to her guardian. Her guardian's not here. And they tased the fuck out of him. And then they get into the facility and start walking around. I don't know how that fuck. Dude went into that facility and walked straight to her room. They did. He went in there and walked straight to her room. How the fuck did he know what? Because he was calling out. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what name he was calling out. He was calling out madam. He was saying madam or some shit. He was walking through the hallways just saying, madam? Madam? And I'm like, and then he went like right to her room. He went right to her room. He wasn't like knocking on doors and no shit. He went right to her fucking room. And I think I remember them he was knocking on the fucking door. And they ended up kicking the door in, and she was like coming out the bathroom like, it's my time, y'all get here. And then, then he ended up with like a little mini shootout in the old folks' home. It was funny. One of them old people walked out his door while that shit was going on with a little oxygen thing. Old dude walked out of his room with the oxygen thing, and that shit was going on. Pop, pop. That motherfucker dropped that goddamn oxygen tank. And that motherfucker hopped in this room like, I was like, the goddamn adrenaline, son. That motherfucker got back in that room quick. It was like they had a young dude in makeup. I was like, I don't think an old dude like that could move like that, even if he wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Just like, even if somebody was shooting, he'd be like, oh shit. That motherfucker said, what? Like, nah, bro, you need that oxygen tank. It's still fucking attached. Where you going? I guess it's a little bit of levity in this movie, but not a lot. So they get out of there. One of the dudes got shot. None of them made it out. It's one of the things where, okay, it was an almost escape. They got out the front door. That was about it, because they had the little mafia people was parked out front, right? All this shit going on. I mean, the old lady got out the fucking front door. You know what I'm saying? But she couldn't get to the vehicles. The vehicles are like way the fuck over there. Because police and shit coming. And always in the movie, it's always when the police get there, it's always just enough time for the motherfuckers that's doing shit to just pull and drive the fuck off while the police is pulling the fuck up. It's just, come on, man. Don't be so goddamn typical. You know what I'm saying? It's like a red flag, police come up and then this car just drive the fuck off. Like a fucking, what was that? That's fucking boiler room, at the end of fucking boiler room. All those police is coming up coming up in there, I guess it's police or was it the FBI, Secret Service? I don't know. Whoever the fuck was coming up into the fucking into that little building where all the motherfuckers was in there doing them fucked up ass trades and shit. All those. I mean, it's just streams of fucking law enforcement coming in this motherfucker, and this one dude is able to just get in his car, back out, and drive right next to them in the opposite direction out that motherfucker. Like, no, at that point, you locked in there. If your ass is in the parking lot, you gonna be in the parking lot until whatever's done is done. You can't just drive up in that motherfucker. Just, no. No, we not playing that shit. This is fucking dumb. So they see this shit. They get the dude, you know, the other little, the goon, the original goon. They got him out the fucking front door. He walked out the front door. This little bitch put a bag over his head, and then they grabbed him. It looked like it was the main chick's girlfriend, little dark-haired, Latino-looking chick. Grabbed, you know, like, why the fuck is she the one that's putting bags on people's head? I don't know. It looked like her. Put a bag over his head, and everybody grabbed him. The old lady ran off. Because this is as fast as she can go. Like, you know, I'm not even... The old lady is barely power walking. Yeah, she was using her arms, though. It was funny. She moving, like, extra slow, but she is moving her arms to make sure she get a little bit of momentum. She was not for to make it a half mile up the goddamn driveway where the fucking car was. So it was one of them things where she almost got out, but nope. And even then, after that shit happened, this bitch was like, nope, we not letting her out. We had all the motherfuckers come up into the goddamn place to get this bitch. And somebody said something about that. Matter of fact, it was her goddamn girlfriend was like, we might need to cut this loose. Her girlfriend said that shit in so many words. I don't remember exactly, but I do remember her girlfriend saying something about maybe we need to let this one go. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we need to let this one go. She was like, oh, nope, I ain't doing it. Nope, I got too much of that. I'm like, because at that point, how could she really let her go? She had already snatched all her assets and emptied out her fucking safety deposit box. Then repainted this bitch house. Ain't no furniture. She'd have sold every goddamn thing. They had a whole montage. So, yeah, she already, I mean, if you did let that bitch go, how you gonna explain all of that? Where is this money? The state taking care of this bitch. So what the fuck you know? I know you got your ass cooked. It's the same thing that the dude in the courthouse said. You know what I'm saying? Like they took everything. Blah blah blah. She, you know, she took the money and okay. She had explanation for that. She told the judge, yeah, you know, I had to take care of her stuff because I had to get her finances in order, which was a big ass mess. So I had to liquidate and all this other shit, and I also had to pay myself because I am doing a job. You know what I'm saying? She brought up some shit about how she had to cover the cost for some shit and blah blah blah. So she paid. You know, whatever. You know, if people do that, you gotta have shit in line to cover your own goddamn ass. But you sold all this woman shit. The way they had her set up, where she had fucking savings accounts and all kind of other shit. The bitch was rich. You know what I'm saying? That's the not the bitch. You know what I'm saying? She was doing pretty well, but the old lady, it's a rich old lady. You know what I'm saying? The rich old lady. She got money, a whole bunch of different bank accounts and bonds and all kind of other stuff put up in the safety deposit box along with a bunch of diamonds and shit. Yeah, it's just like, I mean, if you don't, that's a whole lot you got to cover for if you done went through and took all that shit. Your ass is, you get up under investigation, your ass is gone. You know what I'm saying? Real world don't operate like that. It don't. Everything, you just can't, you know, you have all the affidavits you want signed and whatnot, but at a certain point, you just can't get away with shit like that. That's how this shit is so fucking dumb. It's so fucking dumb! But after that shit that happened, she's still 10 toes down. She ain't giving up shit. She ain't giving up shit. Now, I'm trying to remember, when the hell did he talk to her for the first goddamn time? I'm trying to remember. I'm thinking I might have shit out of sequence a little bit. But I do, they did end up talking, like face to face. You had this woman and Peter Dinklage talking to each other. And he was kind of telling her the deal. I hope I ain't got this too far out of sequence. I'm thinking I might have a little bit out of sequence. But yeah, it's kind of the same thing with the lawyer. You know, you got little Peter Dinklage, the little midget with a anger problem, who doesn't like being angry, as he says. So he's always doing some shit to kind of keep himself, you know, look, you know, they show him lose his temper and shit like that. I guess you have to. If somebody's always talking about they don't want to be angry and they you know, some shit, you have to actually show him, you know, angry at some point, which is just looking at that dude, the little midget dude throw a fit is unintentional comedy. It is. It's unintentional comedy. To see him mad, angry or whatnot and blah 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 like he did when he pulled that gun on his goon is one thing. I'm like, oh shit, he put to kill this dude. Watching them have a fit and throw shit across the room or hit somebody is funny as fuck. You know, he throws some shit. Unintentional comedy. It really is. And then everybody around him would be like, I mean, you ain't got to just be physically scared of the dude. I mean, if he the boss, you respect him, but for y'all to be all this shit where every time he do something, like, get the fuck out of here. Dude could be threatening, but goddamn, this search shit. Got to draw the line somewhere. Anyway, I do remember them talking face to face, like outside. She was like, well, who are you? Blah, blah, blah. You know, he wouldn't give up his identity or no shit like that. Not at this time. I don't think he ever did. She found out. But it's like, she was still on that I'm not going to lose shit. I don't lose. Blah, blah, blah. And they had a little back and forth or whatever. And he kind of looked at her like, okay, I see how this shit goes on. All right. So what happened was, I don't know who, I don't know how, I don't know who did what or who got what, but I do know that there was a scene at the fucking place. And one of the workers there got shot. Somebody named Karen. I'm sitting there thinking, who the fuck is Karen? So, I guess to prove a point, they had one of his goons shoot and kill an unknown goon, go into that facility and kill one of the workers there. This little old innocent lady come up asking the dude, hi, I gotta help you. You need anything? It's just like, next thing you know, that bitch dead. You know, so it was just like, I guess he had to show, other than breaking in that bitch and tasing the fuck out of people and having a shootout inside the goddamn place to get the woman out wasn't enough. That didn't change her at all. So he sent somebody in that bitch to just straight up kill somebody. Like, bop, just dead. She saw it on the news while she was at the fucking gym. And shit, I guess shit started to change after that. Not much. It damn sure wasn't instant. Because at that point, I think her girlfriend, she went home and her girlfriend was like packing bags. She was like, bitch, you need to pack a bag. We need to go. You saw what the fuck just happened. They not fucking playing. And she on it, I ain't scared of him. I ain't gonna lose. I ain't doing that. And her girlfriend had to talk some sense to her where she actually had to call and, kind of, I don't know what the fuck she did, but she kind of, okay, yeah, we can't be here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we can't be here. Now I do know after that I think the only thing that she had that she could hold on to was them little diamonds, because like they made it a point to say that those diamonds were unidentifiable. So all the cash and all that shit leaves a fucking trail. So she couldn't make nothing, make it. Yeah, anyway, fuck man, shit. She's out running errands. One person is doing one thing, the girlfriend and the main chick. And this right here will actually start the typical shit. Because she's like, she walking, man. Did you pack the passports? No, I thought you packed the passports. Bitch, what the hell you thought she packed the passports? It's not fucking, the dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? The dumb shit. I'm like, oh man, get the fuck out of here. So, but she safeguarded the diamond while she was out doing what she was doing. She was safeguarding the diamonds. She found a way to get the diamonds put up somewhere. Well, wouldn't nobody have access to it but her? Because that's the only hard asset. If shit went bad, that's the only hard asset. So they yeah, she was like, did you pack the passports? She said, no, I thought you packed the passports. And so the chick was driving, the other chick was walking. She was like, well, I'm close to the house. I'll go pick up the passports. You already know. You already know what's for the fucking happen. I'm sitting watching this movie. You already know. Oh, I'll go back to the house that we just fucking packed our bags and left from to go get the goddamn passport. If you running from motherfuckers, you get all your fucking ID out the fucking house, including your goddamn passports. Fucking dumb. What you got mobsters following you? You finna get up the fuck wherever you hell you is, and you gonna leave your passport? Out of all the shit? If you know you finna be on the goddamn run, you gonna leave your goddamn passport? Even if you don't plan on getting out the country. You grab all of that shit. All of it. Throw it in the fucking bag. Fuck up out of there. So the girl go back to the fucking house. She said she was near the house. They do this all the time in movies, right? All the time in movies. Somebody say, okay, I'm finna go do that right now. It was broad fucking daylight. She driving in the car wherever the fuck they is. It's broad fucking daylight outside. Like, bam, sun just right there. They show her at the house. It's dark as fuck outside. How fucking close were you to the fucking house? How close were you to the fucking house? To where apparently some hours done went by. It wasn't sunset outside. It wasn't no dusk. Dawn or whatever the fuck. Dusk till dawn. Dusk. I get those two mixed up. I don't know which is which. It wasn't, I guess it's dawn is at night. I don't know. Yeah. Dawn, dusk. Who the fuck cares? Don't nobody ever use the word dusk. You might hear dawn every once in a while. People even name their children Dawn. If I had a kid, I'd name them motherfucker Dusk. Just for the fuck of it. Just for the fuck, just Dusk. Your name is Dusk. I know somebody I'm aware of somebody named Dawn. Never seen nobody named Dusk. Somebody do it. One of y'all weird ass people out here. I was gonna say white people, but you know what? Me being an African American male, 46, about to be 47 years old. You know how our people do names. It's fucking embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing. I could do a whole video just on that by itself. Just on that. So I can't race blame nobody for having stupid ass names. Because white and black people have done some dumbass shit when it comes to naming their goddamn kid. Dusk hasn't been one of them. I want somebody named Dusk right now. And you know, if it's a black person, it's going to be spelled D-U-S-Q-U-E. Yeah. You already know it. If it's a white person, it's going to be spelled with a C at the end and not a K. It's going to be D-I-S-C. Dusk. Anyway, she get up in the fucking house. It's dark as fuck. She get up in the house. I guess she looking for something. Then two dudes get up in the fucking house, run up in the house. They don't show a whole lot. Because it's like, I don't know if they was watching the house, but they kind of showed up right when she was there. They might have been watching the house to see if anybody come back. And she was in the house, and then they showed up. This bitch is trying to, I'm like, oh, man, she gone. She gone. Man, she out of there. Man, she trying to run. They grabbed that bitch. The only thing you can see is two dudes doing this shit. I was like, oh, man. Poor thing. So, they, and after that, what's his name? Somebody, while the main chick, she was walking, after she done took the diamond somewhere, she was walking through like a parking garage or some shit, and somebody hit her with one of those African blow darts. She was like, she pulled the fucking dart out of fucking, and then somebody walked up next to you like, what happened? She was, it looks like some, and then the bitch grabbed her and stuffed her in a fucking trunk and all kind of shit. I'm just like, okay. They said, all right. I'm like, anyway, I don't know what the fucking next scene was, but the next thing on my mind was that they did the little dart, tranquilizer dart. Next thing you know, they show up. It's nighttime. They out in the woods somewhere, I guess, and this bitch is fucking tied up. Then the little Peter Dinklage guy, I think his name is Roman something Russian, and he come up, and he put one of his goons had, they had her tied up, and then put a fucking plastic bag and started suffocating her. She go through the whole suffocation thing, and they take the bag. She lift the bag. No, you kept the bag there. Little Peter Dinklage he popped the bag right at the right at the last minute, right as she was asphyxiating. Then he was like, okay. He took the dude took the bag off her head, and he started explaining to her shit. And she went through this whole shit. She been doing the whole movie. Bitch, you tied up. They just had a bag over your fucking head. Suffocating the fuck out of you. You tied up. And she was still on that I'm not gonna lose, I ain't gonna let nobody get over me type of bullshit. It's fucking ridiculous. It is. It is goddamn ridiculous. She's still on that I'm a lioness shit that she been saying the whole goddamn, I'm a lioness. I'm not. You got prey and you got lions. Lions aren't the only goddamn predators out there, stupid bitch. You go. Are you a lion or are you a prey? I'm a lioness. That goes along with the rest of that feminist bullshit. You just can't be a lion. You have to be a lioness. You know what a lioness is? It's a fucking lion. A goddamn lion. You a big ass fucking cat. What the fuck is wrong with you? Ah! So he's sitting there doing this whole goddamn thing. They going back and forth. He trying to be calm. This dude is sitting there, little Peter Midget Dinklage is sitting there, calm, cool as collected, trying to get this shit done without hurting nobody. You know what I'm saying? Without hurting nobody. And she's still on this bullshit. Still on this bullshit. I'm a lioness. I ain't gonna let nobody get over on me. Blah, blah, blah. I got your mama. I got her in the system so deep. You will never, if you kill me, you'll never be able to get her out. I got your diamond somewhere. That's what she explained to him who he was. They did all this other shit. You know, I got the diamonds somewhere. You'll never get them. At that point, which was funny. I have to explain this part because I think I went over this. It's kind of shit that's like overly convenient. While she was talking to the mama lady, because she had, you know, she can in control of all her medications and shit. So she's sitting there after the old lady told her early on in the movie, before the major shit started to happen. You know, before her girl, before the all that shit, before all the shit I explained earlier happened, the woman told her. Now she didn't tell her like you would expect for her to tell somebody, because they had her medicated at the little place. They keep them like that, so they can't really do shit for themselves. But she was able to tell this bitch, you made a fucking mistake by taking. Yeah, she was asking. She was asking. It was something. It had something to do with that woman. What date is it? You know, what date is it? And she said like the 15th or something. So she said like the 8th was last week. Huh? No, she was drugged up, so the 8th was last week. Oh yeah. She started laughing because that's when that dude came to pick her up at her house and she wasn't fucking there. That's what started this shit, other than her taking the woman to start with. She missed that fucking meeting with her son, which she never does. So, yeah, she started laughing. And she was like, in lack of however many, you know, specific words, they gonna get your ass. You made a mistake by taking me. She told her that several times. She was laughing at the bitch when she was doing it. You know what I'm saying? This old lady has told you that you need to let me out of here. They gonna come and get your ass. You made a mistake by taking me, without just blabbing out all her information. She just basically told that woman that. She did. She told her that. Because she was trying to get some information out that old lady. That old lady, I ain't telling you shit. What I will tell you is, you fucked up by taking me. By bringing me here. You just did. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what she told her. I don't know all the goddamn dialogue. So she got mad at that old lady and told her with all the stuff that she could do to her. So she went to the little dude that run the place and told her, he said put her on a basic meal plan. Nothing but oatmeal and soup. Put on a basic meal plan, number oatmeal and soup, like double her little meds or whatever. No, minimize her meds. That means because she had like arthritis or some shit like that. You like bring her meds to the bare minimum and escalate her little exercise routine by 5 or some shit. Like put it like on the highest level. You know what I'm saying? It just. But anyway, she did that shit early in the movie. And like I say, she don't. But what happened was, like you said, she told the little midget dude that, okay, I got your mom put up. She deep in the system that you'll never be able to get to her. It'll be years, before you be able to do that. Like the years, she might, by the time you be able to get to her, she would have probably just died in there. And to get her in the system, she kind of set the old lady up, which is kind of dumb. Like I said, it's overly convenient. It was funny. It's like one of the funniest parts of the fucking movie. It really is. And it's not, I don't even think it was meant as comedy, but for me, I'm stupid. She went to go see the old lady again to ask her some questions. And at this point, you could tell that the old lady is just out of there. You know what I'm saying? She's just fucking out of there. She's just sitting there. She said something. I don't remember what the fuck she was asking her. But the old lady was like, I'm finna just get up and go. So the lady just got up. It's funny that the main bitch is sitting there in the fucking chair. She just sitting there in the fucking chair like. The old lady got up like she was finna go back to her room or whatever. She only have like 30 minutes outside. That's how she made it. He made it to where she only get 30 minutes outside her room. So she got up, casually walked behind this woman and put her in a fucking chokehold. That was fucking hilarious. It was. It was hilarious. It was fucking hilarious. This old lady just got up, just walked behind this woman and just went, and put this woman in like a fucking hammerlock. And then the people came out there and grabbed her and blah, 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 all this other shit. And next thing you know, they show her in court. She getting ready to get this woman transferred out of the facility she was in to a psychiatric place. Because, they were saying that she's not mentally stable and all this stuff. They just happen to have a camera pointed right the fuck down where she was. Directly just center right there where she was sitting at, where she was talking to all that. There's a camera just happened to be right the fuck there. Like she knew she was gonna get choked out. Huh? What? What? You look at that shit and you see that goddamn camera, like really, it was a camera right there for that shit to happen, which happens quite a bit in real life. There's cameras every fucking where. That she would catch this woman doing something that would fucking happen. There's nothing in this movie that indicates that old lady would just go to try to choke her the fuck out. Nothing. They were like 80 fucking years old. And then, they showed her in court. She had fucking bruise out. All this was fucked up. That woman is not strong enough to do that. She had a fucking big ass fucking sweater on and all kind of shit. There's no way that old woman is strong enough with all that cushion on her fucking arm from the sweater she had on. Could squeeze your fucking neck to where you just bruise the fuck up all over here. What the fuck is she, a Lady Hulk? No! That made no fucking sense. It's too goddamn convenient. So they got the woman locked up. That's they got the woman put in a facility. That's so that he wouldn't have access to her. One of her plans, the contingency. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. So she talking to the dude. And he was like, yeah, I got her locked up and blah, blah, blah. I got your diamonds somewhere, you'll never get them. And the dude is just sitting there like, he's saying stuff to her in a little calm voice. And then it's like, okay. She was like, I know who you are. He was like, who am I? He was like, you're either Roman, blah, 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 or it's blah, 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 blah. I don't remember all them names. You say, you either one of these two people. You know what I'm saying? In the Russian mob. Blah, 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 blah. You faked your death. And, you faked your death. And you, you changed your fucking blah, blah, blah identity. Because they had already figured out that old woman that they got is not the old woman. She been living off a false identity for like 40 fucking years. So she kind of, she put all that shit together. Somebody else had brought it to her. I think her girlfriend at some point had brought that to her attention. He was like, said something about that woman's name, Peter, whatever the fuck her name was. And she had told her, it was one of the things where you kind of tell her, you bring out the name and say, yeah, she's dead. And you would think that the woman in the movie has died, the way they said it. The way they said it, yeah, but she's dead. And she was like, what? What happened? I'm like, no, she's dead. She died in 1949 or some shit, or whatever the fuck it was. I think it was, she died in like 1949. The woman we got is using this identity. You know what I'm saying? It was one of them things where you use the identity, you just ain't never heard of nobody. They have no history, no nothing. That's what she was telling her before they had to move their ass. you know what I'm saying, before they tried to get up out of fucking town, is that, yo, they was able to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? They was able to do all of this shit. These people they done fake deaths. They done fake their own goddamn deaths. They've been living off fucking false identities, which is something that, you know what I'm saying, it's not something typically people that are on the level of be able to do that shit are really, really high crime or involved in the goddamn government. Either way, it's people you don't want to be fucking with. That was the point that her girlfriend was bringing home, that we need to fucking go. It was either we either need to let this go or we need to get the fuck out of here. I think that was early on when she was like, yo, we might need to let this go. Because they got all this shit right here going on. It ain't nothing but fucking red flags. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing but red flags with this old lady that we picked up. Shit been going wrong ever since we got this old lady. Yeah, like I said, that woman ignored all the fucking signs a normal criminal would take into consideration. She didn't even take into consideration, other than the fact after they shot that woman, that they had to get the fuck out of town. He's like, oh shit, they done killed somebody. We need to fucking go. Yeah, and he had to twist her arm to do that shit. Cause that, but yeah, anyway, it's like she broke him down the same way that lawyer broke her down. When that lawyer came into her office and just put her whole operation in front of her, like, yeah, we already know what you doing. This is what you doing, blah, 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 but this one right here, you need to let it go. We willing to pay you for that. And no hard feelings, no nothing. Basically, this is what the fuck just happened. She laid out that the whole thing, everything that they didn't figure out. And he just looked at her. Get rid of her. That's all he said. Get rid of her. Because at that point, he realized that bitch was stupid. You know what I'm saying? At that point, he realized that bitch was stupid. And I was like, okay. She's sitting there like the whole time, like she ain't scared to die. She bring up this shit, which was kind of cool in a way. Like, it was something, I'm trying to remember. She said something about, do you remember 1807 or some shit? Was it 1907? It sounded like she said 1807. And he was like, nope. She's like, I don't either. I wasn't born it. I guess it's some fucked up shit happened in something 07 that most people would have been fucking afraid of. Her point was that I wasn't born in it. I wasn't afraid either. And, you know, it's just like, it's going to be just like that for me if you kill me. So, kind of the way I look at death. It's just, you know, I mean, you know, long before you were born, this is how it's going to be after you die. You know what I'm saying? It's just how it is. And if you just so happen to be reincarnated and come back into existence, it'll probably be like that. It could be eons for anybody else. I mean, for everybody else, all kind of time would have went by, but for you, it would have been just like that, and you wouldn't be aware of it anyway. You'd just be in existence again. If that's something that happens, boom, you just be all different, whatever. The hell? Did my goddamn thing just poop out? Okay, my phone had died, so I had to charge up the phone, and it's like later on in the day. I done watched damn near the whole series of Dahmer. I did. I just watched like the whole series of Dahmer. Before this phone don't charge worth of shit, charging cable or whatever the fuck, and it's only 65%. So anyway, I think where I left, because I'm not gonna look back and see where I left off. I think I was where they had caught up with the chick with the dart. Somebody had hit her with the dart,
had a they had her tied up in the woods, you know, with the cars around, you know, with the headlights lighting shit up, and they had her tied up to something. They put the bag over her head, and she was talking shit like she was talking shit, and she told the little midget dude, the mobster midget, she told him what she knew about him after going through her whole I'm the shit routine that she go through. And he was like I said, he calm and whatever the fuck, and he just said, get rid of him. That was it. He said, get rid of him. And what proceeds to happen comes straight out of the school of Dr. Evil killing his goddamn nemesis. Right out the goddamn book. You can watch that goddamn movie, and was it the first or the second one? It might have been the second one with it fucking sharks with freaking laser beams coming out their freaking heads. And I don't know if that's the first or the second one. But when Dr. Evil's son was like, you know, you ain't gonna watch, you ain't gonna just, you know, I'll go to my room right now, get the gun, we pop, but just kill him right now. You know, no, that's exactly what happens. It was like, you already knew it's like that same typical shit, predictable ass shit that I said was gonna happen. That they got in this fucking stupid ass movie. Get rid of them. Y'all can just dice this bitch up right here. Y'all can just dice this bitch up right here and be done with it. Like, for real. Just, you don't even have to shoot the bitch. You had a fucking plastic bag over her fucking head, right? What they he said get rid of her, then told the men to make it look fucking organic. I'm not a fucking genius. I don't know about putting together plots and writing stories and all that kind of shit. What they proceed to do is come up behind a bitch with a fucking chlorophyll, or not chlorophyll. It's not chloroform. Y'all know what that shit is when they put the shit over your goddamn mouth and you pass the fuck out. They come up behind her while she was tied up, put the shit over her mouth. She passes the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? He said, make it look organic. So, they pull this bitch's car up, right? They pull her car up, you know, they put it in the middle of the fucking street. And then they put her in the goddamn car. They jack up the car with a jack, right? And they put her in and they fasten her into the goddamn, they fasten her into the fucking, the seat belt. You know what I'm saying? And they start the engine, and then they kick the goddamn jack from underneath the car, and boom, the car just take off down the road. This in the middle of the fucking woods, and the car just going fucking BMW. And of course, guess what happens? This bitch wakes up. Now, if they wanted to pass the bitch out, where the fuck was that dart? They shot that bitch in broad daylight with a dart. She didn't wake up until it was like later, just like what happened earlier, when that bitch said she was close to the house and she'll go get the passports. The next thing you know, she at the house and fucking pitch black outside. Same thing. They shot this bitch right after. They shot her right after. Right after she got off the phone with that broad. Right after that's when she got shot with the dart. She ain't wake up till later on that fucking night. They chloroformed this bitch. Now that y'all couldn't just pause, you know, use another fucking tranquilizer on this broad. They stuck it. The car took off. Woo! She going down. She wake up. Ah! She wake up. It was funny because she ain't never had that look on her face the whole movie. Cause she's the shit. She's the lioness. She ain't taking no L's for nobody. She ain't doing shit. She woke up and that car was going through the fucking woods at full speed. That bitch said, ah! Ah! They look at her. I said, I ain't never seen that look on her face before. That bitch was scared then. She wasn't scared of nobody else doing this goddamn movie. When her eyes opened then, ah! Yeah. But then the fucking bitch, I'm thinking that the car gonna go They was in the middle of the fucking woods. On a little fucking dirt road. Car just going all over the place. You know, I'm looking at the screen. I can't tell. So I'm thinking that the car gonna smash into a tree going like 80 miles an hour or some shit. No! The car run right off a fucking cliff into a fucking lake or some shit. And you already know she not finna fucking die. You already know she not finna fucking die because they didn't kill her when they had the fucking chance. She didn't hit a fucking tree. No, she ran over an embankment and the car went into a fucking lake after she done already woke the fuck up. So what else is gonna happen? Yeah, she gonna get the fuck up out of it. She in the goddamn car, and you know while the fucking shit is underwater, she fumbling around with the goddamn shit. The car is filling up with water. You know the old thing. You have seen that 100 times in movies already, where motherfucker trapped in the goddamn car, you know, underwater, and the water still coming. This bitch sitting over here doing this shit. You see that? You already seen this in the goddamn intro. This shit right here, under fucking water. You finna kick out a fucking windshield underwater? No, it's hard enough to do. It's, you know, you might be able to move some heavier shit underwater in theory, but kicking a window out like that underwater, no. Water actually slows your fucking momentum that you need to generate the force you would need to put your fucking windshield out the goddamn socket. You can't fucking do it. You can't do it. But she did it. Now the holding the breath thing, I gave that a pass. That bitch was underwater a long ass time. She was underwater a long ass time. The only reason I give that a fucking break is because for whatever reason they always showed her working out. She was either on a rowing machine during the movie, on a bike, running, or whatever. They always showed her working out. And you know, if you that would help you be able to hold your breath longer. Just, you know, just to throw that out there. You know what I'm saying? Your body will be able to operate without oxygen just a little bit longer than somebody who don't. You know. That's what cause anaerobic exercises do that shit. Anaerobic exercises, you know, trains your body, your muscles and shit to operate with the lack of oxygen. But you have to throw that shit out. Because I showed y'all at the intro what the fuck happened. This bitch is doing this shit underwater. She doing this shit here under fucking water. This is not how the fuck you swim. This is not a swimming motion. It's not a swimming motion. That's not how the fuck you swim. She swam from the whatever the fuck she was down at the bottom of that lake all the way up to the top of that water in a motion that made no sense at all. You are out. Actually, this would be safe, but out. This would be out. This is safe. Y'all don't know baseball, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. Dumb. Dumb. Fucking dumb. I was like, man, get the fuck out of here. This bitch is doing this shit underwater. No. And you could tell because while she was doing that shit, there was no movement. You know what I'm saying? There was no reason for them to shoot that like that. And you gonna fucking drown. You dead. You can't do that shit under fucking water. And then she just pop up. Like, no. No. At least in any other movie that I've seen where people done had to swim up, they showed them swimming the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? It's either like this, with your legs kicking, or you could just kind of just let your arms go and just kick your fucking feet like that. If you're trying to conserve oxygen, it's probably best to do it like that. Just, you know, just let your arms lift and just kick your feet up forward while you just kind of relax the rest of your body. Just kick your feet up while you're swimming up. You'll conserve your, you know, your oxygen or whatever the fuck is. You don't do this shit under fucking water while they shooting the camera and the person in the water is not actually moving no goddamn well. You is not moving up unless your ass is made of styrofoam. fucking phone. That's the only way you finna get out of that shit. But anyway, she got out of that. And I'm watching a movie. And at this point in the movie, I'm like, I don't know how the shit's gonna end. You know what I'm saying? I said, I don't know how it's gonna end. We got two villains in this movie. You know what I'm saying? At this point, you know, the main character that we are following is a fucking villain. It's kind of established from the beginning of the movie. And the person she's in conflict with is a criminal. But he's not fucking with nobody. You know what I'm saying? So you like, okay, what? So what happens is, and I get kind of muddy at this part in the movie because I don't remember it, and I'm not going to rewatch shit other than that little clip I just did earlier for the intro. It's because I wanted to put that in there. She got out of that shit, and she was soaking fucking wet. Obviously, she was soaking fucking wet. They had to show this whole scene with her going to a fucking gas station and, you know, buying like some t-shirts and shit out the gas station so she could change clothes. Apparently, she had like some money in her pockets or something. So she paid the little cashier, you know, like $50 to be able to use his cell phone to call somebody. And she tried to call that bitch, her girlfriend. She didn't answer the goddamn phone. What the fuck was that? She didn't answer the phone. So she was like, So she took a cab to the house. She get up to the house. This bitch still laying on the ground. And when she went over there, and I was like, man, because I was like, they killed that bitch. And she went over there and started, you know how it is. You know, she get down over and start, I see that bitch leg move. I was like, bullshit! Bullshit! You know what I'm saying? Bullshit! They caught that, two men caught that bitch. They didn't kill her? They didn't kill her? Why? Why didn't they kill her? Oh, back to the other shit, the make it look organic part where this bitch got out the fucking water. You know what? You know what would have made sense? If y'all would have put the goddamn bag over her head and choked that bitch out right then and then ran the goddamn car in the water. I mean, that's about as organic as you can get. She wouldn't have woke up. She'd have been dead by the time the car hit the water. Now, if somebody can do a goddamn autopsy, depending on how long the water, you know, the body been in the water, and maybe figure out that that bitch got suffocated before she drowned. You know what I'm saying? But at that point, wouldn't nobody know shit. You know what I'm saying? At that point, oh that well, she was suffocated before she drowned. You know, it's some kind of way they can tell that shit. For me, I'm like, what's the goddamn difference? I know it's a difference, but I'm like, even if if your body in the water, the water gonna get in your goddamn lungs some kind of way, at least a little bit. There probably would have been a lot of water in the lungs, and that probably would have been a way for them to tell that she got suffocated and she was dead before they hit the water. Instead, if you drown, then you got a whole fucking, your whole cavity be filled with fucking water or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that popped out to me. I'm like, make it look organic. Anyway, this movie is dumb. It's stupid. The only reason I'm talking about it is because I had an audible reaction. Y'all see when I started screaming and hollering and shit like that? It's like that. That's how I am when I watch the Texans on fucking Sunday. That's why I got to watch the game by myself, because the cats won't watch the game with me, because I scare them out the house every time I go, ah! Yeah, the cats be like, shit, they get out of here. And I did that several times during this movie where I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, literally. I mean, I was by myself. Ain't nobody watching this shit with me. I'm here by myself screaming at the TV at a fucking movie. I don't like it. It just intrigued me enough to where I was like, how the fuck is this movie gonna end? With all this dumb shit going on. So, she go to the house. This bitch ain't dead, because when she was hopping, over, trying to wake up, this bitch leg moved as soon as she got down there. I was like, okay. The actress leg moved. Maybe that's a mistake. And then once she started talking to her, I was like, all right, this bitch ain't dead. Two goons was doing that shit to this bitch. They didn't kill her. Did they think they killed her? I don't know. But they didn't fucking kill her. And then that's when motherfuckers was talking about getting out of town again. They were like, we gotta go. The bitch that got beat the fuck up was laying on the floor. She was like, we got to go. Give a fuck where we go, but we gotta get the fuck out of here. And then you know what Super Bitch said? You know, I think you're right. We have to go. You know, we can't go. And then that bitch turned right back around. But if we run, we gonna always be looking over our shoulder. We go, and you know what? This stupid bitch agree with her. So what we gonna do? Bitch, you just had two grown ass men pummel your ass into the goddamn floor over this bitch on some shit that you tried to advise her not to goddamn do. And you gonna agree with this whole how good what this bitch pussy must taste like goddamn Skittles. You ain't sucking on that pussy that much? Oh man! Oh my goodness! What the fuck? Movie is dumb. So here we go. All of a sudden, this bitch turned into Mission Impossible. She doing shit that she has no right to be able to do. You know what I'm saying? She started running around. They cooked up some kind of plan. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like real Mission Impossible type shit. Like what? How did y'all establish this woman having this kind of capabilities? Why? It's her jogging and working on a fucking row machine. That give you fucking spec ops. You know, you on some spec ops type shit. You secret fucking servant in the motherfucker. You can just do shit because you on a row machine, working your goddamn abs and your thighs and whatnot. It's stupid, man. She put on some kind of she had that weird ass haircut that's like cut even, like all the way around here. That shit is distracting as fuck. But she tied it up, put a wig on, went into some building, and kind of tricked the fucking the little security guard at the front desk. And thinking she had an interview at that building. She kind of looked at some shit and seen a name and just said, I had an interview, but I'm early. Where can I go to the restaurant while I wait? And she can go around the corner to the restaurant. She made her way through that shit, went down into the goddamn parking garage. I don't know how she knew that dude was gonna be down there. All this shit, I have no idea. I don't know how they cooked up this fucking plan. This shit just happened. It just fucking happened. This shit just happened. You just have to watch the movie. She get down there, she walking, and the dude came up to her. Because, you know, you got a big mob dude like that. You know, if he's somewhere, can't nobody else come down there. So she going down into the parking garage, and the dude was like, she was like, I'm lost. I need to get to such and such exit. So yeah, you have to go back that way and around the corner. Go upstairs or whatever the fuck. And she kept talking to the dude. The dude said, yeah, well, you can't come this way. You got to go around the corner, blah, blah, blah. And she just tased the dude right in the chest. Yeah, wait, hold up. Let me see. This is what she did. Just out the fucking blue. That's what the fuck she did to that big giant ass. Just out the fuck. I like doing that. But that's what the fuck she did. Just pull that bitch out right there. This battery is low. It ain't been on the charger. I ain't been nowhere, so I ain't no use to be. It wasn't no point of me charging the motherfuckers. I ain't been nowhere. I usually keep it in my pocket when I walk, so I can go. This is my little Thor machine. I am the god of thunder. I am Thor. That'd be funny if that did happen to Thor in one of his movies. He tried to fucking do some Thor shit, and it was just like. Anyway, god damn it. She do this shit, and something else happened. She tased another goddamn dude, you know, because he was out away from the truck. She get up to the truck, another dude was like, tased him, and then another dude came around she was like on the driver's side of the truck. Another dude came, opened the passenger side door. While she was fucking this dude up, she just pulled out another goddamn taser gun and shot that bitch with the little with the little zips that come out, and she just boot right in his chest. And I'm like, where the fuck this come from? Where the fuck did this come from? This bitch is a secret agent now? She got tasers and shit all over her, just ready to go like that? This bitch is charged up, like, for real. Just boom, just charged. And then, little dude was in the back seat of the truck that she got in. But I don't remember. I do. Goddamn phone acting all stupid. But anyway, dude get into the seat and was like, looking. I don't know how he didn't notice all this other shit going on. But he ended up getting into the back seat. And she ended up reaching back there and sticking a syringe in his goddamn leg, I think. And that knocked him the fuck out. And no, he passed out. And then she drove, she got the other dudes out the way and drove off in their little truck. And she kind of met up with another friend of hers. And they exchanged something. I don't remember what the fuck was. And she was like, is he in the truck? And he in here, laying in a pool of his own piss. So I guess he pissed on himself at some point. I don't know. Who just cares? So she drove off. The next time you see this motherfucker here, he laid up in a fucking hospital. You know what I'm saying? The next time you see this little midget boss guy, Roman, he laid up in the hospital as a John Doe who overdosed. So he got tubed down his throat, all kind of shit. And then this bitch show up. And he looking like, I should have fired them niggas. He said, I need to hire a whole new goddamn crew because ain't nobody in this crew can do shit they supposed to do. So, I'm thinking that's what's going through his head. Because this bitch walked into the goddamn hospital room just as gangster as you could walk up in there. And ran the same scheme on him. Ran the same scheme on this dude as she ran on his mother and all the rest of the old folks. Since he was put into the hospital as a John Doe, that she got the state. She did the same thing. She made him a ward of the state to where she was his goddamn guardian. I'm sitting here looking at the TV screen like, and he couldn't say nothing. The damn tubes were still down his goddamn throat. The tubes were still down his goddamn throat, so he couldn't talk. And she just ran through the whole screen and was like, yeah, I'm your guardian now. I'm in control of you. You gonna give me $10 million, because that's how much she asked for when they had her tied up in the fucking woods. She was so gangster that she turned down the money that he tried to offer her right up front to end this shit. She was like, no, I want $10 million. And that dude was like, well, you know what he was like, because he attempted to kill that bitch right then. So she wasn't listening. So what happened? See what happened was, I'm like, okay, how the fuck would you maintain that? This is like I mean, if you just look at him, he probably a 50-something-year-old dude or some shit like that. You can't keep him locked up like you do with the old folks. You know what I'm saying? You just can't. Even though he'll live midget, he is able. You know what I'm saying? They had him up. I wonder if that was Peter Dinklage for real on them fucking, what they call them goddamn beams, them little circles that hang up from the ceiling that them gymnasts be on. He was on them shits. And I'm thinking that Peter was on that shit like for real. They didn't have him like propped up to make him look like he was doing that shit, because leverage wise he would be able to do that since he only like this goddamn tall. He would be able to do that a whole lot easier than a normal person would. And they had him just like sitting up on one of the motherfuckers, his legs sticking straight out. And he was doing that shit while delivering lines. You know what I'm saying? Before he got down. Like liver, he don't weigh a whole lot. You gotta think, they little muscles with it, they strong. You know what I'm saying? They might look funny, but they fucking strong, and they don't weigh as much as us. So, it's easier for them to like do shit, move around and stuff. It's kind of weird. Physics, man. Like for real. That's one of the things that short people have an advantage of over tall folks. Anyway, I don't know what else happened in between that, but she ended up going back to the hospital. So she resumed all she was doing. Everything went to fucking normal. She went back to the hospital to talk to this dude. At this point, he didn't have the tubes and none of that shit. He was just in a wheelchair. He was just sitting there looking out the window. She came down, sat next to him, and was just talking to him. She was just talking to him, telling him what she wanted, and all this other shit. Just as calm and normal as somebody as nutty as that bitch would do it. But that's how she would do it. She would just tell you blah 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 blah. It'll be all some sadistic ass bullshit. She'll tell you right up just like that. Blah 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 blah. And I'm looking at this point. I think a friend of mine had called me. It was like 10 minutes left in 10 minutes left in the goddamn movie. So the movie's about to go off. Like, what the fuck, dude? So this is the part that kind of got me. This is the part that kind of got me. She asked for her $10 million. She's like, you gonna give me my $10 million? You're gonna be able to go do whatever it is you do. You know what I'm saying? I think you're gonna be able to go, get your mom, you get all this other shit, you're gonna give me my $10 million. And she went on this whole speech about she wanna be rich. She wanna be rich. She wanna be able to get that $10 million and use that money to build herself like rich people do. Like the rich get richer. They use their money to get over on people to make more money. If that bitch was smart, she would take that $10 million and put that shit into a legit business where she ain't fucking over people. Or no, she wanted to keep doing that same racket she was doing at first. Blah, 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 blah. I'm a fucking lioness. And then the dude was like, he just sitting there. He like, and at a certain thing that I kind of understood and kind of leaned towards myself, just kind of watching the movie, I'm like, especially when that bitch, when he seen her, I'm like, she ain't dead. It's what's gonna be going through his mind when he see this bitch and he ain't dead. And he was like, I got an offer for you. He was like, won't you be my partner? You know what I'm saying? He was like, won't you be my partner? And he went through a little bit of stuff, and he was like, what about the diamonds? He was like, we could split the fucking diamonds. You know what I'm saying? It's a couple of $1 million in diamonds. He was like, we could split the diamonds 50-50. That ain't no big deal. And he was like, you come work for me. I can give you your $10 million. I can arrange that. But how about come work for me, and we'll use my money and your business thing. He said we could open up a business. You know what I'm saying? We can open up a business. And we can do that same, guardianship shit she been doing. With her expertise in that field and his backing, it's worth more. And she was like, you open a business with me? He was like, no. Businesses. He said, we gonna open up a business with 80 subsidiaries. With branches in every fucking sector. You know what I'm saying? You can take your $10 million now, or you can go in business with me and make billions. And the way it ended was like, that's what the fuck they did. Now watching this movie, and like I said, it's it's an ass hurt feminist behind this goddamn movie. Because like I said, you go through all this shit, because you got to think the mom that got put up in the home, she was out of this movie. It's a face that you would recognize if you seen you see the woman, you'd recognize her face. So she's a notable actress, but she was out of this movie for a big ass chunk. You got Peter Dinklage, and then you got this broad, the main bitch, who was somebody else's face you would recognize. I don't know who her fucking name is. I just know you would recognize her from something. You'd seen her, so I don't know her name. I seen a name in the thing, the top billing, that was on top of Peter Dinklage, because wasn't nobody else gonna be on top of Peter Dinklage. It was one name up there, and that was definitely a name I had never heard of. But I had seen that woman's face before. So while I'm like, okay, the whole vibe of this movie, this broad is not gonna let no dudes get over her, cause she kept saying that shit. I ain't gonna lose. You know, I ain't gonna let no man threaten me. You know how many men tried to get over on me? 2,000. You know how many actually did it? 2. And anyway, I don't know why this shit keep cutting off, but it kept going through the whole goddamn movie. With her going on with this butthurt shit about men and shit like that they keep inserting at points. And then you gotta think about it. Okay, whoever wrote this movie knew what the fuck they was doing. They got this money hungry, evil ass woman, right? She ended up going up against this dude who just turns out to be a fucking midget. So they got this woman, this strong, powerful, minded ass woman, facing off against about as much as you could squash a man down, and then actually end up getting over on him, supposedly. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I see that. I see that. It wasn't like some kingpin looking motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? No, it's a little. She going off and she getting over on this little midget guy. Every dude in this movie looked fucking moronic. I'm gonna tell you that shit right now. Every dude in this movie is a fucking moron except for the midget. You know what I'm saying? But even he was like a small little guy that had anger issues and all kind of shit. He had the stereotypical short man syndrome. You know what I'm saying? He had the stereotypical short man syndrome. I was like, this is some imagery that somebody put this together. Y'all could have found another notable actor to play that role, because he wasn't playing a goofy ass character. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't playing no goofy ass midget like that little dude in Friday and no shit like that. No, he was playing a legit ass fucking mob boss with everything that came with it. With no goofy shit. I didn't notice no fucking jokes, no none of that shit. I didn't. This shit was played straight as fuck. But it also hit me that you got this strong-minded ass, feminist appearing ass woman that got something against men, and every man in this fucking movie is a moron. Literally, every man in this movie is a moron. And her main foil is a midget. It's a midget. That is not on purpose. That is not a fucking coincidence. I wonder if Peter knew this and they just paid him enough for him to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? What? So, next thing you know, after that scene, they show all the little, they show the montage. They done went into business together. You don't see the midget no more. You know what I'm saying? Because he's technically dead. So for him to be able to operate like he got to go back to how he was operating, which is in the shadows. That's why he couldn't be out in the open. Nobody have his name. The man been dead for like 7 years. You know what I'm saying? He got a whole new identity. It really ain't no way for that dude to operate in the real world and be discreet. You know what I'm saying? Inconspicuous. It's a fucking midget. It's like trying to be conspicuous when you fucking Shaq or something. And it just ain't gonna fucking happen. It's the same if you're real small. It's the same if you're fucking real tall. It's just hard to be inconspicuous either fucking way. So they got all this shit going. She done got this whole business. She had this wall in her office with it could have been about 100 people or something, I don't know, of the people that she was in charge of. You know what I'm saying? That she had guardianship with. Now she got this big ass office, and that fucking wall is just fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm like, why would you even? You got a fucking computer. Why would you stick all that shit on the wall? It ain't no way for you to look at all that shit and keep track of it. It's just not. It's just for show. It's impractical to even have that. Who the fuck is putting that shit up on the wall? It ain't her. Some office assistant is up there perfectly lining up all them fucking photos and shit. But yeah, they got her going. She doing news interviews and all kind of other shit. She on the cover of magazines and all this other kind. She done made it. She went into business with that dude, and whatever happened that was supposed to happen out of that happened. Because the dude was, they giving her these interviews and shit, and the dude finally had to ask her, they asked her about the business. She's still going through that whole spiel about how much she cared for the old folks and all this other shit and blah, 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 how good she do. And then one of the things, one of the people had asked her, like, how much money have you made, lately? And, of course, people don't really answer shit like that. You know what I'm saying? She said, well, I haven't counted lately. So that just tells you that she done made her money. You know what I'm saying? She done made her fucking money. So she leave out that studio where she was doing the interview. She leave out of that fucking studio, and the dude from the beginning of the movie, the crazy dude that the security guards were pinning down on the floor while he was looking like a fucking moron. I told you they made every dude in this movie look like a fucking idiot. He was that dude, he shows up. And he was cussing that bitch out. He like, fuck you, bitch. And then he was like, yeah, you put my mother in that home and she died in there and I didn't get a chance to fucking see her. And he shot that bitch right in the chest. In the movie. Into the fucking movie. She died, and that's the only other time you see her with a look on her face like, oh. Not when she got shot, but when she laid on the ground and kind of realized that, oh shit, this is it. Then her face kind of went like, oh. When she was looking at her girlfriend, because her girlfriend was holding her and shit, and she was like, oh. And then her face kind of evened out. She's like, oh well. You know what I'm saying? Then the bitch died. And that was the end of the movie. And you know what? That's kind of what you wanted to happen throughout that whole movie. That's exactly what it should have happened to her. Maybe 30, 45 minutes into the movie, that shit should have happened to her. You wanted it to happen to her when she was explaining what the fuck she did for a goddamn living when the movie came on. That whole movie built that shit up all the way to the end where you wanted that bitch to die. And she kept doing everything in that movie to make motherfuckers kill her, and it wouldn't fucking happen. And then when they did do something to kill her, she wouldn't fucking die. And then the one pathetic looking motherfucker is the one that come up at the end of the movie and shoot that bitch. And you gotta think about it. The person that got off in this movie, the midget. You know what? He the one that got off. Because she made her money. You know what I'm saying? So, you gotta think she might be billionaire material. Well, if she billionaire material, so is he. You know what I'm saying? So is he. Now, they might not be able to continue that arm of the business that she's in with the guardianships and shit. But you got to think about it. That dude said he was going to open up 80. Well, it literally not be 80. That was the idea. But he had a business. The phone keep cutting off. He had a business that had other business. He had subsidiaries. So if that guardianship shit go down, well, that shit just goes down. It's other shit going on. You know what I'm saying? That she probably had nothing to do with. That's her thing. It's the guardianships. He probably ran everything else. So he the one that got off in this movie. At the end of the fucking day, you didn't see him no more after they was in the hospital. But at the end of the day, that's who won in this movie. That's who is supposed to have won in this movie. Because even though he was a criminal, he's a bad guy mobster, he wasn't really labeled as an antagonist in this movie, a protagonist in this movie. But you couldn't let that bitch win. She won and then she died right after. So, but you didn't have time to revel in it. Because soon as she got shot, that was the end of the fucking movie. So even though you went all the way through this movie wanting this bitch to die, when she finally got shot, you couldn't really enjoy it because the movie went off right after that. It wasn't this is such a happening. And that's it. And this is what happened with the midget guy. And no, what none of that. That bitch got shot in the fucking movie. And it was unsatisfying because I was like, how is this movie gonna end? They both, you don't really want either one of them to win. Well, I take that back. There's no reason for you to dislike that midget mobster guy. He wasn't fucking with nobody. It's just the fact that he was a criminal. That didn't really have nothing to do with nothing. Now, they did kill an innocent woman. You know what I'm saying? He did kill an innocent woman. They did do that. But don't nobody know. Who the fuck know who Karen is? Don't nobody know who Karen is. Not in the movie. The people, Karen family know who Karen is, but they're just watching the movie like, who is fucking Karen? But that's who. I'm pretty sure everybody asks who the fuck Karen is when they say Karen got killed. Who the fuck is Karen? I don't know. You get a big question mark right there. Shit. So yeah, that was it. A very unsatisfying movie, even though what I hope happened didn't happen. It couldn't happen in the middle of the movie because that would just cut the movie short. A bunch of dumb shit happened. And then you got the little bit of gay shit. They didn't show no like fucking sex scenes and no shit like that. Really they didn't. But I just sick of seeing gay shit. I just watched fucking Dahmer. I haven't seen enough gay shit for the rest of my goddamn life. After Dahmer, you don't want to watch no more gay shit. That just changed gay shit forever. You know what? I knew what the regular gay shit was. Now that I've seen this motherfucker, he just ruined it. I didn't even like it and he ruined it. It's just like, fuck, get the fuck out of here. So, I didn't like this movie, but this is a movie that I would suggest that people watch. I would suggest somebody watch it just so I can get their opinion on it. Because I can feel somebody that watching this movie will go through that same roller coaster I did to where, okay, what the fuck is gonna happen? Or why is this bitch, you know what I'm saying? It's one of the things where if you don't like somebody, it's on purpose. You know what I'm saying? There was no way that they intended for you to like their character. It's that's it. They didn't expect for you're not supposed to be on her side. This was just a creative way of telling the story, which I appreciate. It's one of the things I liked about it while I was watching it. I was like, this is different. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what the hell is going on. You know what I'm saying? I know who I'm following in this movie, but I don't know who the hell I'm supposed to be behind. At the end of the day, I knew who I was. I was like, man, this bitch gotta go. She just doing too much shit in this movie to piss everybody off. You know what I'm saying? But as watching this movie, all the other shit start popping in my head about the feminist imagery and all this other kind of stuff. Where you got the bad dude is a fucking midget, and you got a woman, and then every dude in this movie is a fucking idiot. And I still go by that. Even the lawyer. They make him look like an idiot after a while, even though he seems savvy at first. He seems savvy in the courtroom at first, and then next time they show you with him with the boss man, he look like a little bitch. It's just like, bruh. So somebody had an agenda, somebody had issues, somebody got a chip on their goddamn shoulder when it come to dudes. You just watch this movie and it's gonna be out there. You can't miss it. Why would somebody watching this video go watch this movie? Probably. It wouldn't be no reason to. I just told you the whole fucking movie. You know what I'm saying? I just told you the whole fucking movie. It's just the fact that all that shit that I said is just, a lot of it irks me. It pulls me in a wrong fucking way. When I don't like characters. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, you're not supposed to. Sometimes I figure that's a good thing, for you to write characters. You can write characters that are irritating. You know what I'm saying? That are irritating or whatever. They supposed to be irritating, but sometimes it's alright. I had to fucking clear out my fucking phone. It kept cutting off because my storage was full. God damn it. Isn't it funny how you go through your phone and you hit delete. You select all of the old videos and shit, you delete, and your phone don't delete the shit. You have to go, after you do that shit, you got to go to trash, then go and then hit empty trash. So while you think you clearing up space, no, they just moving that file from one thing to another. It'll delete like a week or 2 weeks later or some shit like that. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. I hit delete, motherfucker, get the shit out of my goddamn phone. I'm sitting here trying to record. The goddamn phone is cutting off because the goddamn storage is full because there's shit in my phone that I thought I deleted a long ass goddamn time ago. And there was some shit that I didn't delete. That wasn't so recent. My phone be full. I shoot a lot of videos for YouTube that I don't upload. And those videos be like hour long and shit like that. Not everything that I record actually gets uploaded. So, yeah, that. Anyway, irritating characters. Example. One of those irritating characters, that so-called not funny motherfucker on How to Get Away with Murder. I've been wanting him to write that. I can't think of his goddamn name. He got a weird ass name. I've been wanting them to write him off the goddamn show. He just finds the most inopportune time to say some dumbass shit. Dumb shit. Just stupid. I'm just like, shut up. Shut up. Please. And it was like that all the way to the last goddamn season when he actually died. But I'm like, the fucking show is over now. Fuck, I care if he dead. You know what I'm saying? That was the only time he act like a normal ass character is after that bitch hit him in the head with that camera. And he went off somewhere after that. And he ended up getting killed. Whatever. He wasn't acting all goofy funny then because he knew he was about to die because he was working for the wrong goddamn people. Anyway, it's a good thing. It depends on how it's written, but it's too much stupid shit going on in this movie for me to forgive that. It really is. Goddamn notifications want to pop up while I'm recording. I can't read that shit. Anyway, that's my review of that fuck you ass movie. You know what I'm saying? There's parts of that movie that I enjoyed. It's not very many parts, but there are parts of that movie. It might have been a part of that movie. I think it was a part of this movie that actually made me laugh. And you know what? I can't fucking remember it. Only thing I do know is that at some point I laughed out loud over some shit I saw in this movie. That was when the old lady walked behind and did the slow choke on that woman. That shit was fucking funny. Yeah, I did laugh excessively at that. That shit was funny. It wasn't supposed to be funny, but it was just how the old lady just got up and just casually walked behind her and and just started choking her ass. That woman ain't strong enough to choke nobody to death. Just not no grown person. It takes a while to choke somebody to death. You have to be able to sustain a good amount of pressure around somebody's neck that woman is not capable of. Because you have to be able to apply that amount of force, first off. Secondly, you got to be able to hold that for a while. Which, I mean, and she was doing it like this. So she wasn't using her hands. But even this is, you can just go, get your hands off me, woman, please. Yeah, that was the part I laughed out loud at. And it was a part of the movie that was not intended to be funny at all. So, that's that. If y'all watch this movie, I hope it's something you enjoy. It was a learning experience for me because I got to see a movie that was written in a way that I had never seen before. I never watched a show that was like just completely from the villain's point of view. Like for real. Just from your vision is from the villain's point of view. And it ain't one of those villain point of view movies where a motherfucker have a redemption at the end and no shit like that. No, this bitch was evil from the start of the movie all the way to the fucking end. And the people that will be, and there was no protagonist in this movie, so you did, like I said, after you didn't even hear from the goddamn about the midget and no shit. You know what I'm saying? And he the one that actually won in this movie. You didn't hear from him, so there was no protagonist. Oh shit, goddamn cat, you scared the shit out of me. I usually look back and see one of the little black cats, the big boy cat was back there. I look back, seeing that big ass cat, I'm like, ah! Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here and start this video to upload it. I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I might do a philosophy video of some shit that's just going around in my fucking head. It'll be a long ass ramble video about my philosophy on life and religion and all kind of shit like that, I probably have to focus that up. I might have to just do either one on life, one on religion. I don't know if I need to do another one on dating. I probably already got like 5 of those on my goddamn channel at this point. Just stuff like that. Or if I just happen to run across a movie that's decent, do another random review. Because I watched Day Shift that had fucking Jamie Foxx, Megan Good, and fucking Snoop Dogg in it. They got Goofy written all over it, don't it? You're like, really, Snoop Dogg? He ain't in it a lot. You know, he in it, but he ain't in it a lot. It's like an extended cameo. It's a Jamie Foxx fucking movie. The premise of the movie is kind of goofy. You know, when you hear it at first, it's like, oh, really? That's pretty goddamn simple. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of simple. That whole premise is really too simple for a fucking movie. It's like, ugh. But it wasn't bad. It's a comedy, and you don't expect too much out of it. But I wouldn't do a review on that. It's just my whole review on that will be like, damn, Megan Good is fine still, because I don't know how old that woman is, but I was looking at her when I was in my fucking 20s. I'm fucking 46. I'll be 47 in like 2 weeks. I was looking at her when Biker Boys came out. I don't know how old she was when Biker Boys. I don't even know how old I was when Biker Boys came out. That's when I got. That's when I first seen Megan Good. At that point, she was just a chick in the movie. That was fine. It's a whole lot of fine chicks in the movie, but you know, she was kind of the main one. And then you kind of see her and shit. And then you kind of heard her name around. I ain't never really seen her in a whole bunch. I know she had that NFL boyfriend. And I don't know who the fuck else she dated, but you know, she one of those, you know, famous because she fine chicks. I mean, she ain't been in no blockbusters and no shit like that. But I was like, damn, she fine as fuck. This is, you know, it's like, okay, she in this movie and she got skin tight shit on the whole fucking movie. The whole fucking movie. Everything she got just skin fucking tight. I'm just like, ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I don't even want to go. I end up going into another one of those talks about when I go to the gym and you see a whole lot of, I ain't even talking about black chicks, a lot of them Mexican chicks and shit that make Megan Good look like, like for real. Megan Good fine, but she ain't gym fine. You know what I'm saying? She ain't gym fine. She ain't, and I'm pretty sure she works out. I probably just be talking on my ass, but you know, she got like normal fine written all over her, because you'll see a whole bunch of chicks that look like Megan Good or better, just out in the real fucking world. And Megan Good is awesome, but at the gym, I have to fight this every time I do a gym rant video when I talk, which would be today, but I ain't getting no sleep, so I couldn't go to the gym. You go to the gym, I have to force myself not to talk about the chicks I see in the fucking gym. I have to force myself not to do it, because I'll be talking about an hour how fine them chicks is and how I don't ever run across no shit like that. Never. Last chick I ran across said she was a fitness instructor. And I didn't meet her. It was somebody I just kind of come across online, you know, exchange phone numbers and whatnot. Bitch fat as all I knows. I'm like, really? I run across a fitness instructor? I get the fat one? Like, for real? Not just a little chubby. No, I get the fat one. So, which means she's sitting in a class probably with a whole bunch of people fatter than she is. That makes me sound shallow, but you know what? I am. I am. And that's coming from a motherfucker with one eye. You know what? I gotta treat this eye right. Don't want to spend my one eye looking at no ugly motherfucker. Just to be fucking honest. Yeah, but I have to force myself not to talk about that shit, because it's just, it was a chick in there. Actually, it was quite a few. I know last week I seen a chick in there, and she, I mean, you know how it ain't nothing in the front. It was all in the back, and she had some legs to go with it. I'm looking, I'm like, God damn. And you know, you kind of just glance in the gym. You don't just do that shit. You know what I'm saying? You look and, okay, you see it, you go about your business. It wasn't until later I kind of saw her and I was like, that's not even a black chick. I thought that was a black chick that walked by there. It was an old white woman. No, it was an old Mexican lady. Not an old Mexican lady, but she did look like she was in her 40s. And she ain't have nothing in the front and was all bottom and legs. It was just, you could tell she had been in the gym. You could tell she had been in the gym, unless she one of those people that got work done. It could always be that. You never know. But I mean, work don't do that to you. From what she had from the waist down, now you can work right here on this shit right here. That shit from the waist down, you can't implant that. You just have a big ass and no fucking legs to go with it. When you got thighs that match your big ass, oh yeah, you was born with that, or you work for it. See, I'm doing this shit again. I'm talking about the shit now. Not something I really want to do. Anyway, I'll catch y'all on the flip side.